Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 37 based on novel. So let's start. With a height of over 1 trillion kilometers and a power 100 times more pure, the energy required is naturally incomparably huge. It is normal that it takes nearly a century for the body to grow to its limit. This is also the result of Morosa's comprehensive breakthrough and the greatly improved efficiency of absorbing the energy of heaven and earth. The same will be true for Luo Feng in the future. Even if he comprehends the law of chaos, it will take a long time for his divine body to grow to its limit. Take your time, there's no rush, Luo Feng said. The advantage of a perfect life form is indeed great. This is just a beast at the Chaos Realm level. If it is at the God King level, how terrible it would be. I am afraid that in one breath, Huyang City would be reduced to ashes. No wonder the peak beasts have such a strong deterrent power in the origin continent, making Qianmu Kingdom a first-class country in one fell swoop. Precisely because they are afraid of the peak world beasts, all forces on the origin continent will kill all weak world beasts and not give them a chance to grow. Even if you have reached the Chaos Realm, you still cannot reveal any of your beast techniques outside of the Star Tower, Luo Feng reminded. Don't worry, Master, I understand. Morosa nodded. The more he learned, the more he understood how deep the water in the origin continent was. His current target was the world beast in Qianmu country. I want to learn from that senior. I want to survive until I reach the peak. Fortunately, his master is also a perfect life form. When they join forces in the future, I believe they will be stronger than the Love Purple Wood God King and the Beast of the Realm of Qianmu Kingdom. Master, before the blood cloud died, his bloodline had completely transformed. Morosa explained, after absorbing his divine body, I also comprehended more power of the origin of destruction. I will show it to you now. Luo Feng nodded, show it. Whether it is the method of destroying the mind or the combination of life and death, Luo Feng attaches great importance to the origin of destruction. As soon as Morosa had a thought, the vast source of destruction mysteriously appeared in front of him. After seeing the complete picture of the source of life avenue, Luo Feng could now watch what Morosa showed very calmly. After all, in terms of power and level, what Morosa showed was too weak. Well, Luo Feng watched and became immersed in it. The mysteries of the origin of destruction displayed by Morosa are relatively few, but they also include the complete laws of chaos, as well as some shallow mysteries of the origin of destruction. These shallow mysteries are all naturally comprehended by Morosa after he reached the Hukuin Chaos Realm, and are far beyond Luo Feng's current level. Although the origin of life is very complete, Luo Feng's realm is too low, so he needs to carefully screen and selectively absorb some insights for fear of being polluted and distorting his own path of cultivation. The mystery of the origin of destruction displayed by Morosa is relatively weak, but it is still one level higher than Luo Feng in all aspects, which is very suitable for Luo Feng to comprehend. No need to filter, just understand. Don't worry about distorted cognition. Morosa, you have made great progress. It is much stronger than the mystery of the origin of destruction you showed in the past. Luo Feng comprehended and praised him. I am already in the Chaos Realm, so my understanding of the origin of destruction is naturally higher. Morosa showed his understanding of the origin of destruction to the fullest, and he also hoped that his master would grow up as soon as possible. Luo Feng meditated for a day, then stood up and said, Morosa, you practice slowly on your own. It's only been one day. Morosa feels that one day is too short. It is normal to meditate for dozens of days or even longer. Not needed for now. Luo Feng has returned to his level of the Star Tower. Luo Feng sat cross-legged. He only watched the origin of destruction for one day and then stopped because a flash of inspiration emerged in his mind about the origin of destruction, the origin of life. Luo Feng had watched the avenue of the origin of life many times, and now after watching a lot of information about the origin of destruction, his insights into the two avenues naturally confirmed each other. Time goes by day by day. The insights continued to merge, and the flash of inspiration in Luo Feng's mind became clearer and clearer. The world of spiritual practice is full of infinite possibilities and endless temptations. A little so-called opportunity may attract a practitioner to another path. Or a practitioner may be stuck in a bottleneck and unable to break through in his lifetime. The path of cultivation is to move forward in the fog. I took a wrong turn without even knowing it. I understand. Luo Feng vaguely saw a blurry path appearing in the fog of cultivation. The avenue of the origin of life and the avenue of the origin of destruction are originally completely different paths, but Luo Feng grasped a trace of connection between them, forming this vague path. This road is destined to be difficult. After all, just think about how difficult it is to integrate the two great origins. Life and destruction should be one. Luo Feng said softly. He said this while chanting in the Star Tower, but it contained an extremely firm determination. He believed this from the bottom of his heart. Without life, everything is dead. What is the meaning of destruction? Only with the concept of life can the concept of destruction have meaning. As a life, the stronger I am, the stronger my destructive power can be. They complement each other. At this moment, Luo Feng felt that the pure origin of life was too fragile and lacked sufficient killing deterrence. The path of destroying the pure origin of life was too extreme. With the sole purpose of destruction, like a world beast, it is natural that all parties will attack it. For example, the world beast in Qianmu country has a master and is no longer dedicated to destruction. This is something that all forces on the origin continent can tolerate. Pure destruction is not advisable. Even if I take the path of destruction, it is for the lives that I care about and want to protect. Destruction is for the sake of life. At least, that's how I feel. Luo Feng only felt that life and destruction were two origins that could be perfectly integrated. The many insights he gained from facing the origin of life and the many insights he gained from watching the origin of destruction displayed by Morosa were naturally combined. As new insights surged into his mind, Luo Feng felt filled with joy. There is an old saying in my hometown Earth, if I hear the truth in the morning, I can die in the evening. When you see your own Tao clearly, that joy spreads throughout your entire soul. That is the path that you have chosen, and it is also the path that your heart likes. The path I will take is a path that combines the origin of life and the origin of destruction, which can be called the path of life and death. I hope that one day I will be qualified to be called the great path of life and death. Luo Feng thought. With so many insights in his mind, Luo Feng naturally stretched out his hand and lightly stroked with his fingers, causing visible spatial scars to appear in the space of the Star Tower. This stroke. Just like a butcher cutting up an ox, a knife dissected the void. It was as if a paintbrush was painting between heaven and earth, leaving traces of the painting on the void. It contained incomparable sharpness. Luo Feng had not even burned his divine body, but a single swipe of his finger was enough to rival the full strength slash he had used when burning his divine power against the blood cloud. It also contains Luo Feng's spiritual will. When he embarked on the path of cultivation, what he cared about most was those who needed to be protected, his family and his tribe. After arriving at the origin continent, he was also very cautious, because if he died, without him, first of all, countless humans in his small universe would not be able to survive. Without him, what would happen to his family in the future and what would happen to the fate of the human race? The original ancestor had talent, but after arriving at the origin continent, he had not yet become an eternal true god. It can be seen that his talent is still far behind his own. If you want to protect your family and the human race, the best way is to rely on yourself. This is my way. Luo Feng looked at the traces in the air. Luo Feng was very happy, he had found his own way. As their strength increases, many practitioners will generally choose one path of origin to focus on practicing. But before Luo Feng entered the Chaos Realm, he had chosen from the bottom of his heart to walk a path that combined the two great ways. In his heart, he believed that pure origin of destruction and pure origin of life were not in line with his true intentions. This move can be called a Chaos Realm move in terms of realm. This is also the first Chaos Realm move I have realized. Luo Feng casually made another stroke, and the extremely stable Star Tower space showed the same space trace. This move is called refining the heart. The road of cultivation is difficult. I hope that after thousands of trials and tribulations, I can still remember my original intention. Luo Feng was also encouraging himself, because he had seen many strong people who changed themselves through cultivation. There were many in his hometown, the original universe, and in the origin continent, such as Shuiyan, who was once accompanied by his beloved, but in the end he could sacrifice everything just to become stronger. Cultivation is also cultivation of the mind. Luo Feng sat cross-legged and began to focus on cultivation again. The many insights into the origin of life and the origin of destruction are still gradually combining. Luo Feng is very clear that he is still very weak and needs to move forward step by step with piety. In terms of realm alone, he, who had just realized a move of the Chaos Realm, was still far behind the blood cloud of the past. A 9-story tower starts with piling up earth. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. At the city lord's mansion of Huyang City, a woman in armor with hundreds of braids arrived with a group of guards. The heads of the 5 major families in the city lord's mansion came together to greet them respectfully. Your Highness. The 5 leaders looked at the armored woman respectfully. The armored woman stood there, surrounded by vaguely rippling waves, and the invisible might was quite terrifying. She is Yu Shui Qianyu, one of the 35 children of the King of Yu State. She is one of the most outstanding children of the King of Yu State. The armored woman laughed heartily. I heard from my father that Huyang City has a very remarkable eternal true god named Luo He, whose strength is even better than Yong Hu. The Lord of Huyang City said respectfully, Lord Luo, his strength is so great that there are only a handful of eternal true gods in Yu State who can match him. There should be no one stronger than him. Then I came to the right place. The armored woman nodded with satisfaction. No wonder my father took the trouble to arrange an opportunity for him. He might even become my senior brother. The king wanted to take him as his disciple, and the leader of the royal family Wu clan, Wu Kulu, spoke up. It's not that easy. Even if you have high talent, you still have to go through trials before you can become my father's disciple. The armored woman said, Okay, you guys hurry up and make arrangements for me. I want to see this Luo her god immediately. Huyang City, Chaos A Cave number 913. Luo Feng specially invited the eternal true god, Black Butcher, to cook and prepare a sumptuous banquet to entertain Yu Shui Qianyu, the daughter of the King of Yu. Yu Shui Qianyu was of noble status and came here on behalf of the god king, so Luo Feng naturally had to be formal enough. The food in Huyang City also has a unique flavor. Yu Shui Qianyu was wearing armor, and her already lush hair was tied into hundreds of braids. She was holding a large piece of meat that the Black Butcher was best at, and she ate it with big mouthfuls. Lord Huyang, I think the food here at Lord Luohe is better than the food in your city lord's mansion. Ha ha ha. The accompanying lord of Huyang City laughed and said, the only person in the entire Huyang City who has entered the eternal true god with his cooking skills is the Black Butcher of the Fire Realm restaurant. Your Highness, you came to the Lord's mansion too suddenly, and it was impossible to invite the Black Butcher in advance. Luo Feng nodded. The Black Butcher's cooking skills are pretty good. It suits my taste very well and tastes very good. Yu Shui Qianyu looked at Luo Feng and asked Luo He Shenjun, can you please ask the Black Butcher to come over? Of course he could. Luo Feng nodded and then sent a message to ask the Black Butcher, who was resting after cooking in the cave, to come over. There were only 3 people in the pavilion, Luo Feng, Yu Shui Qianyu and the accompanying lord of Huyang City. The Black Butcher was a little reserved when he came in. After all, he was very clear about the identities of the guests at today's banquet. That's the daughter of the ruler of Yu State. The lord of Yu State was able to build a powerful country on his own, and it was considered a second-rate country in the entire origin continent, which was naturally remarkable. In terms of individual strength, he was also considered a very powerful one in origin. His daughter's status was comparable to that of some of the top leaders of the Yangfeng ancient country. Even some Chaos Lords would not neglect His Highness Yu Shui Qianyu. Hello everyone. The Black Butcher was quite respectful. You are the Black Butcher. Yu Shui Qianyu's eyes lit up. Your cooking skills are very good. I like it very much. Are you willing to go to the capital and be a chef in my house? The Black Butcher was startled. I came to help Lord Luohe prepare a banquet, but I was unexpectedly invited to the royal capital by the daughter of the king of Yu state. Lord Luoha stole your chef. You don't mind, do you? Yu Shuiqianyu looked at Luo Feng. He runs the Fire Realm restaurant, but he is not my chef. Luo Feng smiled and said, if he can go to the capital, he will have a brighter future, which is good for him. Why would I mind? Recently, Luo Feng has been immersed in cultivation and has not been to the Fire Realm restaurant or the Dream Flower Tower for a long time. There is only one chef in my house now, and you are the second chef I invited. Don't worry, you will have a separate cave there, and the various cultivation resources you will get will far exceed those in Huyang City. Yu Shuiqianyu said indifferently that as the daughter of the king, what the king gave her was far beyond the imagination of many eternal true gods. It is my honor to be invited by His Highness, and I am willing to do so. After some thought, the Black Butcher made a decision immediately. He came back to the origin continent through reincarnation and has been struggling until now. If there is a great opportunity in front of him today, he must grab it. Moreover, Huyang City is a border city, and the conflict between Sha State and Yu State has become increasingly fierce recently. The Black Butcher is a little worried about being implicated. If he has the chance to go to the royal capital, he would naturally be willing to do so. Black Butcher, congratulations. Luo Feng said with a smile. It was the Lord God who gave me this opportunity. The Black Butcher was also very grateful, and he was also very clear about the gap between himself and Lord Luoha. He seized the opportunity to become the cook of Her Royal Highness the Princess, while Lord Luoha asked Her Royal Highness the Princess to come and visit in person. Yu Shuiqianyu laughed heartily and said, I really have to thank Lord Luoha for letting me find the Black Butcher missing. Black Butcher, you go and make arrangements quickly. I will leave Huyang City and return to the capital during the day. Yes. The Black Butcher obeyed the order respectfully and then left. Congratulations, Your Highness, for finding this great chef in Huyang City. The Lord of Huyang City said. I can find some people who have become eternal gods through cooking skills, but it is hard to find one that suits my taste. Yu Shuiqianyu ate the meat with big mouthfuls, feeling quite happy. As for the more powerful ones, those who can become the Lord of Chaos with their cooking skills cannot be the chef for Her Royal Highness the Princess. After all, the God King must give a certain amount of respect to any Chaos realm. Let's talk business. Yu Shuiqianyu looked at Luo Feng. Lord Luoha, my father was very happy to hear about you. After all, such a potential eternal true God appeared in my Yu country. And the Lord helped my Yu country and killed some minions of the Sha country. My father ordered me to give a gift to the Lord. Thank you, Your Highness. Please also thank the God King for me. Luo Feng thanked. Yu Shuiqianyu flipped his hand and took out a dark purple wooden box, which flew in front of Luo Feng. God, open it and take a look. Yu Shuiqianyu said. Luo Feng opened the box and saw a light green leaf inside. This light green leaf had countless veins, and the surface of the leaf flesh had a restrained luster which even made the surrounding void ripple and distort. Hurry up and close the box. Yu Shuiqianyu said that this is the leaf of the newly matured Shuyan mother tree. This wooden box is also specially refined to make the leaves last longer. If it is left outside, it will be completely dry and lose its function in a century. But if it is placed in the box, the shelf life can be extended by dozens of times. Luo Feng, the leaf of Shu Yang's mother tree, had his heart moved. He had learned about it from the information of his master and the information of Du and Dong, her lineage. Of course, there is no place to buy such rare treasures, as they have long been divided up by the top figures in the origin continent. Every time the leaves of the Shuyan mother tree mature, some will be sent to my father. Yu Shuiqianyu smiled and said, my father will give them to the Lord of Chaos and his subordinates. The one sent today is the newly mature one and can be used for the longest time. Lord God, have you ever heard of how to use it? Yu Shuiqianyu asked. I heard it's related to the Chaos layer, but I don't know much about it. Luo Feng said. Yu Shuiqianyu explained, the space is thick. Even if there are strong people who can tear the space and cut the space, they usually only cut the surface of the space. Space is very thick and contains thousands of layers. If you want to completely break through all the layers of space, you have to break the cage. Yu Shuitianyu said that among the many layers of space, one of them is the chaos layer. The chaos layer contains endless chaotic power. The so-called chaos ruins is the connection between the chaos layer and our normal living space. Yu Shuitianyu said. Luo Feng listened. You only need to take out the leaves of the Shuyan mother tree and wear them with you, and you can go through the chaos ruins in the reverse direction and go to the chaos layer. Yu Shuitianyu said that normal practitioners are excluded, but with the leaves of the Shuyan mother tree, you can roam freely in the chaos layer. Practicing there will be of great help to your understanding of the laws of chaos. Yu Shuitianyu smiled and said, you have accumulated a lot of knowledge in all aspects. If you practice in the chaos layer, you may be able to understand the laws of chaos. Thank you for your guidance, Your Highness. Luo Feng said. This leaf is just the king's appreciation for you, and also a reward for you killing the minions of the food kingdom. Yu Shuitianyu said, the king still wants to take you as his apprentice. If you are willing, you can go to the capital to experience the test. If you pass the 3 tests, you can become his apprentice. Congratulations, Brother Luo He, this is a great opportunity. The Lord of Huyang City said immediately. As marginal branches of the royal family, their status is naturally not as high as that of the direct disciples of the King of Yu. All the disciples my father accepts must pass 3 tests. Yu Shuitianyu said, if you succeed in becoming his disciple, the resources you will get will far exceed the leaves of this Shu Yang mother tree. If you become a chaos realm in the future, my father may even help you refine your body. Luo Feng listened. Just like refining the body 3 times, in fact, refining the body is similar to refining weapons and secret treasures. If you trust others very much, you can let them refine your divine body. For example, if the Lord of Yu State takes action, he can naturally make the divine body particularly powerful. I'll think about it again. Luo Feng said, thank you, Your Highness, and thank you, God King. Yu Shuitianyu frowned slightly, then smiled. It seems that Lord Loha has another master. In the origin continent, the master-disciple relationship is no less important than the father-son relationship. After all, the master teaches, passes on, provides resources, gives guidance, and guides all the way. This is more attentive than a father. Similarly, the apprentice must also repay the master. If the apprentice betrays the master, it will cause public outrage and be despised by all parties. Brother Luo He, this opportunity cannot be missed, Huyang City Lord reminded. There is no need to force it, my father is just fond of talents. Yu Shuitianyu said that for the King of Yu, it would not make much difference whether he had more or fewer disciples. In the end, I have to thank His Highness. Luo Feng raised his glass. Yu Shuitianyu also smiled and raised his glass to drink. Even if they couldn't become senior brothers and sisters, they were still friends. For such a cultivator with great potential, maybe one day he would reach the Chaos Realm. Yu Shuitianyu was still willing to make friends. When the banquet was over, Yu Shuitianyu and Huyang City Lord also left, and Luo Feng personally saw them off outside the cave gate. If you become a disciple, you are completely bound. Luo Feng is very clear about this. The deputy head of Yangfeng Guild Hall has repeatedly told him not to surrender to Yu State in case he cannot leave in the future. Between recruiting the ruler of the Yu State and recruiting the descendants of Emperor Chu of the ancient Yangfeng State, anyone with a little knowledge would know which to choose. As long as they reach the Chaos Realm, most of the country leaders are willing to recruit them. But it is impossible for ordinary Chaos Realm people to become guest officials of the Emperor Chu lineage of the Yangfeng ancient country. I went to the capital of the state of Yu. To the King of Yu, I was dispensable. When I go to the ancient country of Yangfeng in the future, I will be an important helper to Di Chuyu. Luo Feng looked at the wooden box in his hand. But I still have to thank the King of Yu. Luo Feng was still very happy. This piece of Zuxingxing mother tree leaves was of great help to him. That night, Luo Feng left behind an incarnation of divine power, entrusted Morosa and Mo Yuqingyan with something, and then went to the ruins of chaos in the city lord's mansion alone. Brother Luo He, this is the ruins of chaos. The Lord of Huyang City leads the way personally. Luo Feng looked ahead. There was a twisted space hole in the void ahead, like water pouring out, with endless chaotic power flowing out. As it came out, it naturally began to condense into chaos crystals, and even seeped into the surrounding soil and rocks to form some chaos stones. The endless power of chaos in the chaos layer will condense into a solid state once it reaches the world where we live normally. Lord Huyang said, so there are chaos crystals and chaos stones. Luo Feng nodded, it's really magical. There are also some void true gods in the vicinity of the chaos ruins who are responsible for the cutting work, cutting the chaos crystals into crystal blocks of fixed sizes. The pieces of chaos crystals are stacked into piles. At this moment, they all noticed Lord Luoha, who was accompanied by the city Lord Huyang himself. It's Lord Luoha. Luoha Divine Lord has arrived. All the void true gods know that the most terrifying person in Huyang City right now is Luoha Divine Lord. Thank you, City Lord. Luo Feng smiled and said, then I will go directly to the chaos layer. After entering, remember the path and you can return by the same route. Huyang City Lord smiled and said, I have eaten it too. From now on, the god can enter the ruins of chaos at any time. Thank you. Luo Feng nodded, and flew directly to the void hole, going upstream against the flow of a large amount of chaotic power, and flew into the void hole. This video will end here.